With the release of one of the best DC movies yet, we're here to have a quick look at the alternate versions of Shazam that are floating around in the multiverse. Quick history lesson though, the character was originally called Captain Marvel, first appearing in Whiz Comics #2 in 1940, published by Fawcett Comics. The adventures of Captain Marvel would continue to be published until 1953, when Fawcett was hit by a lawsuit from DC Comics, stating that Shazam was just a copy of their Superman character. In 1972, Billy Batson and his supporting cast would be reintroduced by DC after they licensed the character from Fawcett Comics. His name would officially be changed from Captain Marvel to Shazam during his New 52 revival. Jump forward to 2019, and Shazam is now starring in a major motion picture that is so good. But enough of the boring history. Let's jump into those different versions of Shazam. Captain Thunder, the very first alternate version of Shazam. They didn't seem to be trying hard with this one since he's basically the same character, just a slightly different name and symbol on his chest. The hero met and fought Superman after the Monster League of Evil tricked them into fighting. He would gain his power when he shouted, "Thunder!" And he gained all of his abilities from Tornado, Hair, Yunkas, Nature, Diamond, Eagle, and Ram, which is a pretty lame list. But it was the 70s, what do you expect? Captain Thunder from 1982. Up until this point, Shazam and the Marvel family all resided on Earth S, separating them from the main DC continuity. In 1982, DC almost moved the character over to the main DC universe. In the main DC universe, he would be known as Willie Fawcett, a young African American who could change into Captain Thunder by speaking the name of Shazam. This proposal was never actually used, however, and Shazam would not appear in the main canon for some time. Shazam! Monster Society of Evil, 1989. More of a reboot than an actual alternate version, this miniseries would reinvent certain aspects of the character, such as making Billy Batson and Captain Marvel separate personas, while also keeping the core idea of what Captain Marvel was up to this point. These ideas would feed over into other alternate versions of the characters later on. Captain Marvel from JLX in 1996. During the greatest crossover event ever conceived, we're introduced to Billy Marvel. Using the word Kree, Billy is transformed into Captain Marvel, an alien-enhanced warrior who fights for the Judgment League Avengers. He shows up for about 3 panels, but just look at that costume, look at that color scheme. Alright, I'm done. Captain Marvel from Kingdom Come in 1996. In this far-flung future, superheroes have actually become more of a scourge than protectors of good. It's up to Superman to come out of retirement and put back together the members of the old Justice League and straighten them out. But in this world, they are more frightened of superheroes than inspired by them. Young Billy Batson has decided to not use his powers for decades. He has grown into the exact image of Shazam, though, allowing some to believe that he is really Captain Marvel instead. He is brainwashed by Lex Luthor to be a deterrent against Superman's more militant attitude towards the Superman community. Billy remains the hero that he always was, though. Captain Marvel from Elseworld's Finest in 1998. Now, in this world, Captain Marvel is African American and he served on the Justice Society of America and the Justice League. His secret identity and the basis for his powers are unknown. Captain Marvel from Superman Distant Fires, 1998. Actually, the same version of Captain Marvel, except this world is ravaged by nuclear war. When a depowered Superman comes riding into their village on a giant cat, he reunites with Wonder Woman and the two fall in love. Billy Batson has become infatuated with her though, and his jealousy pushes him to become an evil version of Captain Marvel. Also, Superman rides a giant cat. You should read this book. Captain Marvel, Dark Knight Strikes Again, 2001. Now in Frank Miller's dark alternate future, we get an aged Captain Marvel. Lex Luthor has kidnapped Mary Marvel and blackmailed the hero into working for him. The difference between this character and what we learn is that Captain Marvel has lived on even after Billy Batson actually died 8 years prior. This means that the Captain Marvel persona is actually separate from Billy Batson in Frank Miller's world, much like previous versions. Captain Marvel from Earth 5. In 2007. This version mirrors the original Captain Marvel, except that Billy Batson is a reporter for the Wiz Media, and he's once again a separate entity from Captain Marvel. This version would go on to reappear in the Multiversity comic event from Grant Morrison. Justice League Generation Lost, 2010. This series featured a female version of Captain Marvel who wielded twin swords for some reason. Her civilian name was Sahar Shazin, and no other information has ever been known about her. Captain Thunder from Flashpoint 2011. Possibly a nod to the past or because coming up with new character names is hard, but Captain Thunder would once again appear during the Flashpoint event. In this alternate world, Captain Thunder has all of the same powers as the regular universe Shazam. However, the power is split between 6 children who must speak the word together to combine and become the hero Captain Thunder. This idea would be carried over into the New 52 version of Shazam, with the children becoming the foster siblings of Billy Batson and even gaining their own powers during the Shazam backups in the Justice League comic books. Once they gained their powers, they would then become the new version of the Shazam family. Mazash. This evil alternate version of the hero would appear in the Forever Evil arc. Alexander Luthor from Earth 3 speaks the magic word and transforms into Mazash. With his powers, he is able to kill and take the powers of other superheroes. He is, however, killed by the main Universal Lex Luthor. Also, I'm sorry, but the Shazam name backwards is a dumb name for this character. I'm just saying, he's super powerful. Why couldn't he be like Evil Shazam? Just makes it easier. And there you have it, the alternate versions of Shazam. Now, let me know in the comments down below what other heroes maybe you want us to cover their alternate versions of. We have kind of a lot of them coming up in the Avengers that we could very easily cover. But what do you think about the hero of Shazam? One of my favorite superheroes that just doesn't get the limelight. Shazam's a great hero. But I want to know your opinions in the comments down below, and you can also subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on your favorite comic book news and information and books.